What's going
What
on,
up? What
everybody?
up?
Welcome back to another episode of the All-Star Sports Show. We got some interesting things to talk about this week, but before you get to it, if you guys new, definitely hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn that notification bell. That being said, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Yes, sir.
Florida State got fucking screwed. Can we talk about that really quickie?
Let me.
Oh.
I need to rant about this.
Hey, shoot, let it all out.
The NFL doesn't have this issue. Oh, if a team has one blemish on their record, if they're like 10-1 or 10-2, you're missing the playoff. This team didn't even have a loss in their damn record. 13-0. And you're telling me they missed the playoffs? Oh, they had a weak schedule. You can only play the teams that are in front of you.
Well, and also here's another thing, and the fact that they also won their conference championship.
They won the freaking ACC. So they won the whole ACC, man.
And
like,
it's also
that's like saying you won the NFC championship and like no Super Bowl for you because you have a blemish on your record.
And the fact
how stupid can that be, dude? I hate the committee. Dude, I hate the committee. They need to do away with this committee shit. They need to have. If you have one of the best records in the league, you're in a playoff.
It should be an automatic bye. Well, that's not the case.
Not an automatic bye. Not an automatic bye. Like if you have like maybe 8, if you're like 8-4, you don't get a first round bye. You play in the first round.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a great record like 12-1 and 13-0, you get the bye. You go to the regional semifinals. Or regional, whatever the hell they call it. But the thing is that you only have 4 teams in there, and yeah, they're going to expand to 12 teams, but you're still flawed because you still have the goddamn committee.
Yeah.
Get rid of the fucking committee. A team with a good record should be in the playoff.
And sticking with Florida State, though, I've heard one of the head of the committee said, "Oh, this team was different when Jordan Travis broke his leg."
No, they freaking were. If they were different, they would have lost a few games. They went 13-0, and in one of those games, their starting quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
What happened after that? They still kept winning. So they were the same team. The same team.
Yeah. So, and other way, Florida State getting screwed. So pretty much when you look at the college football playoff, is Michigan obvious? And
let me I'm gonna go back to 2017 for a minute because I know you're gonna say Alabama because they're in.
Oh yeah, I'm getting to Allen.
Dude, Shannon. It was Shannon Sharp that said this. Unk, for cooler people, call him Unk. He says, just call it the Alabama Invitational because they're always in that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sick of Alabama. I'm sick of them. They have a loss on their record. Florida State does not. Florida State should be in over Alabama. Oh, they had better wins. Shut the fuck up. They're 12-1. A 13-year-old team, a 13-0 team, doesn't matter who they play, should beat a goddamn Alabama team for the playoff.
And they actually did, and I think also ESPN, they actually did show tape. Like the Florida State had a 55th ranked strength of schedule. Alabama was 5th.
But that's stupid. That's like saying, us last year, we didn't deserve a Super Bowl because most of those wins were cupcake wins. So we didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. That's bullshit.
Oh, yeah,
this flaw, man, is why I hate the committee. I hate them. I absolutely hate them.
Trust me, you're not the only one that's that's probably the biggest knock on college football. And that's what college football had. Look, as much as I like to watch it because of prospect purposes, but just for rest of everything else, not so much because it's like you're gonna screw a team.
And people were like, "Oh, but the ratings. If there's a blowout, then
who gives a shit?"
Who's to fucking tell that Alabama versus whoever the fuck that you put in isn't going to be a blowout?
And the fact that speaking with Alabama,
TCU, dude, you guys are the same fuckheads who put TCU in last year, and they got blown the fuck out in the national championship game.
Remind me, I regret doing that game
I turned it off at halftime. So bad.
I turned it off. I had to call. Yeah, I called it at halftime. Said no. I am this. I am not sitting through a 65-7 blowout bullshit. Now, yeah, and see that's the thing too. Like that's the committee. Like they got the college football. The NCAA needs to get rid of the. As Tyler pointed, would put the committee, get rid of the committee, and actually kind of implement what the NFL does. You know,
when they implement the 12-team playoffs this next year, right? When they implement the 12-team playoffs, it shouldn't be the 12 best teams. Well, it should be the 12 best teams, but again, a lot of the teams have good records.
Yeah, and
you put them in. Put them the fuck in.
Yeah, see, that's where kind of what
college. You have the freaking NCAA having a fucking 64-team win. 64 teams in the playoffs to start off. Round of 64. Then it goes to, what was it? 16. And then it's 8. And then it's 4, and then it's 2.
Why do you think the NCAA basketball has a much better form? I think I think
I'd rather watch college basketball than college football because of this shit.
Because here's the thing, because as Brooke pointed, it's like in college basketball, everyone gets a chance. If you lose,
everyone who has a damn winning fucking record gets in because they earn their spot by winning basketball games. When you win football games in college football. There's no guarantee you're making the damn playoffs, even if you're 13 and 0.
You get punished for winning games.
You get punished. You get punished more in college football for winning games. It's stupid.
It's a very flawed and outdated system.
It's very outdated. Outdated.
Sticking with college football, obviously, if you guys been around the channel for a long time, you know me and Tyler are long-time Clemson fans, and obviously they actually made changes that was well over fucking due. Obviously, picking up a new offensive line and defensive ends coach. Because let's be real, the O-line could not do anything getting the and
the O-line was letting the defense get home a lot. For a lot of defenses, they were letting them get home. And then the offense wasn't that great because they got the guy from TCU who was ass. He was especially ass in the national championship game. But the thing is that at least we were good enough to make a bowl. I didn't even think we'd be good enough. Because at one point we were like what 5-4 or 4-3 and 4
at the time.
We were 5-4. I'm like, I don't know about this. And then we won like the last 3 games of the season because we had a better second half than the first half. The first half we sucked. Second half of the season we were great.
Take a look at our reaction to us and Duke.
Now, I do believe that like a team like that should be in the playoffs, and I'm glad we weren't. We made a bowl game, fine. We didn't deserve to make the playoffs, but I'm talking about like these like 10 win teams that go 10-2 or 11-2 or whatever. They should be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
an 8-4 team, hell no. A 5-7 team, hell no.
So. Obviously, with Clemson, though, they're actually going to retain some of their defensive work. Obviously, we know that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is foregoing his senior season, going into the NFL draft this year. It's going to be interesting
I feel fucking old. Rob.
I know.
I remember the days where his father played.
But other senior linebacker, or obviously junior, going to be a senior. Barrett Carter is actually returning to Clemson for his senior season. Obviously, he finished this past season with 59 tackles, 3 sacks, and 9 tackles for loss, and was ranked one of the top linebacker prospects for the 2024 NFL Draft. So
he's a good linebacker. He's a very good linebacker, and we've seen it. Now there's some bright spots that defense. That defense, they have good linebackers. They also have guys who can. If a running back is running to the left, they're going to beat you. The defense is going to beat you there. You're going to get maybe 1 or 2 yards a carry. But other than that, they don't know how to. I mean, the defense has been the bright spot. I will say that. The whole defense. Offense, oh no.
it hasn't really been right since what post Trevor Lawrence or
It was
something.
pre Trevor. No, it hasn't been great since Trevor Lawrence was there.
Oh God, that's yeah, that's not really saying much.
That was 2020.
And
When we had lost to Joe Burrow, who I did say, like I said before, he was NFL ready when I saw that game. But that's the thing, like we haven't had a competent quarterback. I mean, I will say this quarterback here is decent.
I mean, Kate, I
Kate,
think we could do
Kate,
better with. I
not
think
really. I mean, he's better than DJ. Better than DJ for
now,
sure.
speaking of DJ, ever since when he
Oh,
traveled to Oregon State and balls the fuck out, it's like, what the hell was that?
coaching issue. Coaching issue. I'm
Because it's
starting to really doubt. Like again, I'm really starting to doubt. What's his
Dabo.
face? Dabo Swinney. I'm starting to doubt him. Like he's a good coach when he has a competent quarterback. When he's not, he doesn't coach his quarterback to be great.
And the fact that he's the only coach in college football that doesn't use the transfer portal, and we'll see.
He doesn't use the transfer portal, which is stupid. You should be using the transfer portal because that's the new era of college football. This whole outdated. I'm just good. But hold on. But this whole outdated. Oh, I'm just gonna recruit a quarterback. 9 times out of 10, it may not work.
Pretty much recruiting. Okay, so
recruiting other positions, I'm fine with that. But recruiting a quarterback, that's such a crapshoot now.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That was
it's such a crapshoot because a high school quarterback, if he's good there, may not be good in college. He may not be good. Like also think of it this way. Think of it this way. Look at the NFL draft. Drafting a quarterback is also a crapshoot.
A crapshoot. I mean, we're seeing, I mean, it's like, I mean, case in point this year, I mean, you have CJ Stroud out of this past draft class actually turned out to be
out of his ever loving mind. He's MVP. If it's not Jalen Hurts, he's MVP. If it's not Jalen.
And yeah, it's recruiting nowadays is kind of a bit of a crapshoot. And also, in Clemson, they do, in accordance, I do have this pulled up on my phone. Clemson does have a history of players returning to school for one more season, including Travis Etienne, Christian Wilkins, Cleveland Farrell, who looks like a complete freaking bust, and Austin Bryant. So very little guys actually.
A lot of those guys, they go back to get some further development. And then after that, when they feel like they're ready to go to the NFL, they go to the NFL. Some of them pan out, some of them don't. But that's the thing. The NFL is a different beast when it comes to football.
Yeah, it's a whole. Yeah, it's gonna be an adjustment period. Some it seems like in case like CJ Stroud, I know he went to Ohio State, but it's almost like a flawed. Yes, I mean yes he. I mean, there's some struggles, but not very little.
But he's a rookie. He's a rookie, though. He's gonna have struggles. He's gonna have. And what's up, Hacker tomorrow? And what's up, Daniel? Sorry, I'm reading your comments right now, but the thing is that CJ Stroud, you said it best. There's very little flaw in his game in the NFL.
I mean, because I mean, right now the only team I see, and obviously. Kind of somewhat in the best situation to at least show what he can do with the Houston Texans, which we'll get to the NFL in just a bit. The one thing Alexa will praise, like if looks, I don't think Houston's going to go that far in terms of going through the playoffs, but
I feel like they'll just sneak into the wild card. Well, they're not just sneaking. They're sneaking. They're in the wild card at this point.
Yeah.
They'll be in. But now the thing that I am worried about and why I'm going to agree with you that they may not go far in the playoffs.
I mean,
it's an obvious one. This is CJ Stroud's first go around in the playoffs. Sometimes nerves will get to you and you play bad. Look at Jalen Hurts in 2020. But hold on. Let me finish. But look at Jalen Hurts his rookie year.
Oh, that's
that was a trash playoff game.
Yeah,
That second year, he was winning in the playoffs because he knew, okay, I've been here before. So the
Yeah.
nerves are not there like they were last year. Because last year, holy shit, I wasn't here before. I wasn't in the playoffs.
And
Now with CJ, it's his first go around. He's gonna get nervous. He's gonna have probably a bad game. If he has a good game, I don't know what else is gonna. I don't know what else is gonna be.
Because here's the thing, because if you guys have been following the show for a while, me and Taro always talk about this, and I think everyone knows the myth surrounding Ohio State quarterbacks, like, oh, they kind of suck when they get to the NFL. Case in points,
He's breaking the mold. He is breaking the mold, and we've said this for weeks. We've said this for weeks when he was having like the best season of his life.
I mean, eye test says for itself.
The eye says, yeah, the eye test. You see it. You see it. He passes the eye test. He broke the mold because Dwayne Haskins bust.
Rest of soul though.
Who else? Yeah, bless soul. But who else?
Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears.
Justin Fields though. But hold on, Justin Fields isn't really a bust because he's just in a shit situation. The team around him isn't great. The offensive line isn't great. He's not a bust. So he's kind of broken the mold. At the same time, yeah, does he make some mistakes here and there? Yeah, but he's not a bust, in my opinion. He just rushing throws because the offensive line is shit. Still, who else?
That's intriguing. There's a
list of quarterbacks who are busts. That we're from Ohio State, that were primed to be the franchise quarterback for a team, and they haven't delivered. Now, again, I'm excluding Justin Fields from that because I don't think he's the problem. It's the organization and their ineptitude and the offensive line.
Speaking with CJ Stroud, though, if you talk like I said,
CJ was on, but the thing is with CJ, he was automatically given a great situation, great defense, great offense, good offensive line, good receivers. He was given a team,
and actually have a head and actually, let's be real, probably the best hiring that Houston has made in their entire franchise. Bring it back,
DeMeco Ryans.
Now,
hell yeah, dude.
I got to give Houston a lot of credit though for surprising a lot of people this year because I thought it's like, oh, it's going to be another round of growing pains. Because I've always had my issues with Kenyon Green on the part of the offensive line because last year, boy, I mean, granted, like Tyler said, it was a rookie, kind of letting people go by, but not this year though. We seem to clean it up a little bit. At times, the defense, obviously, the only thing I will nitpick on is going to be as good as sound as they are. Stay healthy for crying out loud. That's my only gripe.
Yeah, but stay healthy.
Speaking with CJ though, as we're going into week 14, which we'll get to our picks and predictions in just a second, he is leading the league.
Rob, I thought we asked that.
Oh yeah, but sticking with CJ though, he is leading the league as a rookie with 33,540 passing yards, 20 touchdowns to 5 picks with a 59.4 QBR rating.
Now, the QBR rating could be a bit better.
I think that's going to be improved as years go on.
It's going to be improved. But the 20 and 5. 20 and 5. Oh my God.
That's ridiculous.
That's MVP caliber numbers right there. Minus the QBR. QBR could be a bit better, but whatever. They're winning. He's leading his team to wins. He's a leader. He's a locker room leader. He's a good quarterback. But the 20 and 5, dude, like that's MVP shit. That's a touchdown interception ratio of an MVP.
And obviously with a decent completion percentage of 63.4%. And and shout out to our boy Dante, man. He's probably having a time of his life seeing actually a rejuvenation of Houston football because
every week he is commending CJ Stroud. He likes the guy. And I see why. Every week this guy is balling out of his mind. He is balling out. He's winning football games for this team. A team that couldn't win a damn game to save their life before. They had a decent time last year, but let's be honest, the guy
Davis
before
Mills was
CJ
absolute dog
Stroud,
water.
he was shit. And
I mean, look at
also,
the history of quarterbacks they had that gone through fucking Mr. Human Punching Bag, which I'm gonna. Oh boy, I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna smack David Carr right in the back of the
let's,
head
dude,
of his
dude.
comments. I'm
You
gonna.
know what? Let's go right to that. Let's go right to that because I got a lot to
So,
say about
for
that
those who
shit.
are interested, what are you talking about? So, in short, he was pretty much saying, "Oh, the Eagles got to bench Jalen Hurts for Marcus Mariota." Have you seen Marcus Mariota play David Carr? You're pretty much the one that we call the human punching bag, and the fact that Sam
And
Howell's on.
in order to, David Carr isn't just smoking something. He is doing some hard shit.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the thing. But you're telling me, David Carr, with your stupid ass head of yours, that you think Marcus Mariota is better than Jalen Hurts.
not even close. And first of all,
How did you not fucking watch preseason this year? Did you not watch the last few years, except for his rookie year? His rookie year, it was fluky. It was fluky.
oh yeah, and the fact that this
But
is
have you not seen his career? He sucks.
and what's
And
funny about that,
you're telling me, oh, he doesn't know. Jalen Hurts doesn't know how to read defenses, huh?
well, no, well, for first off, that's you got to put that on coaching because
But
we've
no, wait a minute. So you agree that he's not good at reading defenses?
oh hell no.
So that's the thing. He's good at reading defenses. What the
And
fuck are you? Oh no, this is coming from the same guy. Oh, I'm just gonna stand here. Oh, who I got? Oh, I'm down
well,
76 times.
he's got more picks than he does career touchdowns. He's got 65 career touchdowns to 71 career picks.
Says the guy who says Jalen Hurts doesn't know how to read defense. Evidently, you don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
And let me tell you something too. Half of the picks that Jalen Hurts has this year, which are not that many, if you ask me, he has more touchdowns than picks. Still, he's still a competent quarterback. Still, but the picks that he threw were because the receivers missed their routes and there was miscommunication. You're telling me he doesn't know how to read a freaking defense? What are you freaking smoking, my guy?
I want some of what you're smoking. That's what I want.
I don't, because it makes you stupid. David Carr, when you're gonna learn to sit down, shut up? You were a trash quarterback, and now you're turning into a trash analysis guy.
I mean, shit. I mean, would you rather have him or fucking? Also, look, so I know how much you say Dallas, but I got a bone to pick with Craig Carton on his comments on Dak. Pretty much said, "Oh, he's having a child. That's a distraction." What
are you fucking dude? That's another thing too. That is another thing too. That's another goddamn thing too.
Oh,
Chris Carton,
Craig,
go or Craig, whatever the fuck your name is. I don't give a shit. You're an asshole. You're gonna blame a birth of a child on a distraction? Plus, he's having like RQ saying, he's having this kid in the off season.
Like, damn.
So how about this? You sit down and shut your bias ass up. Hell, since we're talking about your bias ass, every week you're trashing Philly.
And it's kind of funny because
you're a New York lifer. You're a New York freaking lifer.
He's a Jets fan, for crying out loud.
You're a fucking Jets fan. You have no room to speak because your team is trash, Carton. Your team is trash. And another thing too. Take that trash bias ass Skip Bayless out too. Trash ass.
Yeah, and the fact that, and we'll get to get some NBA because boy, I've been surprised of some of the stuff I've seen. But moving on, sticking with the NFL though, we didn't get some not so good news regarding the Jacksonville Jaguars because their ex-staffer actually was accused of stealing over $22 million. Oh Jesus!
Wait, who?
So, pretty much an ex Jacksonville Jaguars employee, which is one of their staff, or pretty much it looks like their financial side of things, was accused of stealing over $22 million. So yeah, that's holy shit.
How stupid can you be? This is the theme of this episode tonight. I can see a growing theme: stupidity, stupid people. Are you stupid? You stole company money. $22 million of company money. Their ass should be in prison.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
They should be in prison for this. Like, are you kidding me?
And that was not that long ago. So it was actually earlier or yesterday, actually, when this. So pretty much, according to Michael DeRocco, shout out to him. So for those who want to check this out, go to ESPN.com and actually can look this for yourself. Pretty much saying, a former Jacksonville Jaguars financial employee is accused of stealing more than $22 million from the franchise over a 4-year period by manipulating its virtual credit card program, according to the documents filed this week by the U.S. District Court. Yeah.
They're getting that's money laundering, and they're going to be in prison.
Yeah, but just thought we get that out of the way because, and sticking with the NFL though, boy, it's been this season's kind of been really weird for a lot of teams this year. It's been not compared to what it was last year. It was like there was some consistency with most teams.
Yeah, it was like okay. It's like okay, we got these two set teams. You got this team and this team. They'll probably make they'll make the playoffs to make the Super Bowl. The rest of it was a crapshoot. I will say this, but not even the elite of the elite looked that great this year.
I mean, Kansas City doesn't look that great.
Kansas City doesn't look that great. I'm gonna admit this. I'm an Eagles fan, and this hurts to say this.
We look absolutely
amazing. Defensively, we were missing linebackers. We got linebackers, so we probably look better there.
Oh, we'll get to Philly coaching in just a second because
fingers freaking crossed. The offense sometimes look great. Sometimes it look great. Sometimes they look damn near anemic. It's like there's inconsistencies with the offense, and if it's Sirianni. If what you told me yesterday was true,
I dropped the video about talking about it because in a way he kind of got exposed of being so heavily involved to the point where he's not giving Brian Johnson a chance to call plays. So just because remember,
let the guy shine. Let the guy shine.
And
he probably
I just also noticed this too. Sirianni also did the exact same shit back in 2021.
But here's the difference, Rob. We're elite now. We have an offense now. We have a defense now. We're elite. We're 10-2. When he was calling plays with one damn receiver on the team, one running back, or two running backs, and a quarterback who damn near was a running back that season because he wouldn't throw the ball. And
yeah,
so.
Then again, though, it's kind of crazy too. Like, these people. A lot of people said the exact same shit Lamar, and look how well how
Lamar, dude. Lamar was in his rookie season. Yeah, he did tend to run more, but when he got comfortable, he started passing more. He got better. He was another Jalen Hurts. He got better.
And MVP to show for in 2019.
And he was dangerous as fuck. But the problem is that he can't. The team isn't. I don't know. Like in the playoffs, he kind of goes quiet. That's the problem. In the playoffs, he kind of goes quiet. If he can learn to be comfortable in the playoffs, not to be nervous, just be comfortable. Just calm down.
Because I mean,
take a breather. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. But the thing is that once he gets comfortable and he just calms down before the game, he will be fine. But he never gets comfortable. He needs to just get comfortable. But other than that, though, like, what else do I have to say about this? That's the thing about the coaching. It's like, they only had the one receiver, the one quarterback who wouldn't throw because he had no receivers except for the one, and half the time the one wasn't even open.
Well, technically, he was kind of like Patrick Mahomes with same with the tight end. Had to rely on a tight end because he didn't have receivers, and now we're seeing it. because now they actually have some
We're
receivers.
seeing
And
we're seeing this in Kansas City now. He has no receivers. He's forced to run. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
or had the
he's also forced to throw to Kelsey. But what happens when Kelsey's getting triple covered, like in that Philly game? He got triple covered. He has no one to throw to. He
I
loses the
mean,
game. He panics because he doesn't have his get out of jail free card open.
and that's the thing too. That was kind of the biggest argument, post Tyreek Hill. Yes, I mean they won a championship without him, but kind of the argument is saying, can Patrick Mahomes really survive? The rest of his career without him?
I think he's doing pretty well because they're 8-4. He's doing pretty well.
And
But
sticking with the Chiefs.
But the thing is, though, they shouldn't be 8-4. They should be better. But they don't have receivers, so they took.
And
a
also,
step
you're
back.
talking about teams that should not look like their record. The LA Chargers. They're 5-7.
Fire Staley. Fire Staley.
Oh boy. And going back to Kansas City though, despite them being 8-4, boy, if you're talking about having one of the see this team, with one of the greatest head coaches of all time, you can't debate that in Andy Reid. The fact that they got blown out by I would say a non-pitiful Broncos team was like, what? And God's green earth am I watching? I was
You know what? Now, here's the thing, though. I was saying the same thing, but for all 5 of their damn wins, the Broncos wins. What the fuck happened to them?
Exactly. For a team that was actually
they started off 1-5. They ended up 6-5. I'm like, what? How the hell?
It really is. It's really impressive to see some teams have a turnaround, kind of like the Broncos. Because you brought Sean Payton for a reason. Russell Wilson, I know he's a shell of his former self, but still trying to play what he once was. At times,
I remember early in the season when they were 1-5. People were like, "Oh, Sean Payton's not the guy. They should fire him. Trade Russ because he sucks." What are you saying now? What are y'all saying now?
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the AFC West, they're second place behind the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. That's yeah. So pretty much when you look at
they go from out of the they go from out of the playoffs by week 6 to looking. They're at the door. They're at the doorstep of a playoff spot. Like they're at the doorstep. They're knocking. They're knocking. So yeah. It's like crazy. That's part of the crazy part of the season, man. Like we were talking about earlier.
Well, sucks, and I feel bad for one fan base other than besides the Bears. Carolina was the first team to be eliminated from playoff contention.
They're probably so annoyed right now at this. Like, you fire your damn coach that wasn't really a problem because you gave him a shit team.
Yeah,
you gave him, dude. The team has and I feel bad for freaking. I feel bad for the quarterback there. I feel bad.
Chase Young.
I feel bad. Because Chase Young deserves way better than that.
Bryce Young. Chase Young's with the Niners. He's a defensive.
You said Chase. You said Chase.
No, I said Bryce.
Chase. No, I heard Chase. But nah, Bryce Young. Oh my god, dude! Like he was given a freaking shit scenario here.
And the fact his wide receiver one is Adam Thielen, who is way past his prime. It's like,
He's old. They gave him old ass Adam Thielen.
And before that, I mean, you got rid of your top receiver and DJ Moore to the Bears for that #1 overall pick. So pretty much you probably screwed yourselves. And that's the same time.
You trade DJ Moore, you fire your fucking head coach as a scapegoat, knowing your ass is the inept one.
I mean, the GM has to go, and definitely David Tepper is. I've heard a lot of complaints from most of the Panthers fan base. I
heard a thing, or I saw a comment on a Facebook video about that. And this person had said it best. I don't know who said it, but I read a comment on YouTube. And it said, David Tepper only cares about the money. He doesn't care about the team, doesn't care about the fans. He only cares about the money.
And the fact that because he tries to bring us
So Panther fans, what I would like you to do, don't watch a game, don't buy merch, and don't go. Rob this man of his money. Rob his man of getting paid.
Because it was funny. Because when you funny about that, because Tepper bought the team back in 2018, and I think in this introductory press conference, they were going to bring winning back to Carolina side. First of all, number one, that sounded like a bunch of bullshit because you had an opportunity to win the entire damn thing in 2015.
Yeah, but it was bullshit too because the year prior to him buying the team, they were making the playoffs.
And then and at the same time, you also had an owner who got the previous owner was up.
The previous owner had like sexual allegations or something that happened.
Sexual harassment
allegations, and so he stepped down. That was part of the problem. But then you have a guy buy the team because he wanted more money. He already had a soccer team, Charlotte FC. He bought
and the
them.
fact he was also part minority owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers at the same time. Yeah, it's.
But you have two NFL teams and a soccer team, and all you care about is money. That's a recipe for absolute disaster.
And case in point with Carolina, it is going to be a rough. I would say what?
I don't see this team winning until that owner sells. I'm sorry, I don't see them winning until that owner sells because he is too inept.
And the fact that, yeah, he did fire Ron Rivera. I mean, after they went, I think almost went 7-9.
Yeah, they went 7-9 in 2018. He immediately gets fired.
And then Cam Newton, and I'm sorry, that's another biggest what if. What if Cam Newton never really had?
The problem with Cam Newton, it's not completely his fault. It was just like after that arm injury.
Yeah, that shoulder injury really fucked him up.
He completely lost all of his arm strength.
Like, what the hell happened? Like, this is the end of NFL MVP. What, back in 2014 or was it
2015? 2015, the same year they won the Super Bowl, or they went to the Super Bowl. He won MVP that year.
Boy, top
he was blowing out of his freaking mind. That's when he was doing that Superman shit, the touchdown celebration.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he was blown out of his mind in 2015. 2016, 2017, he was still blown out of his mind after 2018 after that injury.
And here comes that massive shoulder injury. Has not been the same. And it was
completely, dude, it completely killed his arm strength. And it's sad too because in the back of Cam's mind, and I feel for the guy for this, in the back of Cam's mind, he still thinks he's a great quarterback. And I feel bad for the guy. I really do.
Mean, it's when he's look at
he still should be in the prime of his career. He still should be good.
It's just
so in the back of your mind, hell, if I was Cam Newton in that situation, in the back of my mind, I would have still thought I was a good quarterback too.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy. I do. Because I really want his career to resurge. I really do. Because he's a really good quarterback.
Because he pretty much made Carolina relevant, pretty much.
He's the guy that made Carolina relevant. And he was one of the most exciting players that I've seen in the NFL. I really started to like Cam Newton. And then he got hurt. And then his career just went.
I don't know. I mean, you're talking about a bad fall from grace. Cam Newton is an infamous example. And even though it's not entirely his fault, because, I mean, look, he had that massive shoulder injury pretty much killed his arm strength, and then you followed up with multiple foot injuries.
It completely wasn't his fault. I wouldn't say it's partly his fault. It's not his fault at all.
No, that's what I said. It's not entirely his fault.
You said it's not entirely his fault, which implies half of it's his fault. It's not his fault at all. But that's the thing. It's just like, and then you see this guy, he's like, I want to be back in the NFL. I still think I'm good. He doesn't know, like, it's time to go. And it makes me feel, like, super, super depressed for him. Because it's like, I wanted him to resurge so bad.
Absolutely. But last and final thing for before we switch to some interesting MLB, some Major League Baseball developments from last night. Robbie Gould actually announced his retirement earlier this morning after spending 18 seasons in the National Football League, most of it with San Francisco, and then obviously finished up with Chicago. Gould, Robbie Gould, 41, ranks 10th in league history in points scored with 1,961, eighth in field goals, and his 86.4 career percent rate is ninth all time in league history.
He was one of the best kickers in the game. When he was with San Fran, I hardly saw that guy miss.
It really is.
When I see like a few games of his, the very few games that I ever saw in the East, because a lot of their games were West Coast and like all that time difference shit, like different time differences have different games, but like different states have different games that they air. But in the games that I've seen him playing, including the playoffs, including the Super Bowl in 2013, I hardly saw that guy miss.
Yeah.
Like, you never see that guy miss. And it's great. It's great. And I'm glad, he's going out on top and he's, revered as one of the best,
And I can see why, obviously San Francisco went out to get another kicker in the draft because, of what this was going to happen. So pretty much he actually announced his retirement from the NFL on this today or this morning in a short run for the Players Tribune, pretty much saying, quote, "Now, although football has been really great part of my life for the past 18 years, it is with the utmost regard and appreciation that I officially announced my retirement from the National Football League," he wrote. So
now he's like, as much as I love the game of football, it's time for me to go. I've had a long career. I got to end it here. I got to give it up for the next kicker, the next up and coming kicker, which they drafted. And I have to, pass the torch and give it to him. And the thing is that this is how you do it, man. It's how you do it. You had a revered career, and now you feel like it's your time to go. You go.
Absolutely. So
they don't have, and I know they don't have late games, and I'm not saying they have late games. I'm saying like every different state has different games. I'm not saying they have late games. I'm saying they have different time. Like, the East Coast gets a certain game, or certain 2 games, or certain 4 games, because actually 3 games, because CBS only has the 1:00 time slot. Fox has the 2 1:00 4:25.
Yeah,
and so they only show a certain amount of games here, or a certain amount of, like, up north they get like the northeast side of things, if whatever market's closest to them. If there's no game from the market that's closest to them, you get a San Fran game, or you get a Oakland or a Charger game, or something like that. Like,
good Lord, if anybody gets a Chargers, God bless for watching that and losing enough brain cells. Sorry, I
lose enough brain, dude. I lose enough brain cells, dude. Bro, hold on. I lose enough brain cells, listening to frickin' Brandon Staley's press conferences.
Oh boy,
trying to defend himself, knowing damn well he's failing at it. But it says Fox and CBS has a mix of those time slots.
Sometimes, dude.
Yeah, I kind of see a trend with that too. It's like sometimes CBS has 4:25 game, and then Fox they sometimes both have 4:25 games.
Oh, yeah.
But certain times CBS only has the 1:00 time, and Fox has both 1:00 and 4:00. They have the time slots for. The only time slot that's like really set is the 8:00 primetime slots. The Sunday night, the Monday night, Thursday night. Sometimes the Black Friday.
Well, that's the thing too. The only time, because I think I think the Jets kind of found the loophole. The Jets and Dolphins found a loophole to play at 3:00 on a Black Friday, because I think you can't really play.
Because they knew nobody was gonna watch that shit.
And
They knew. Amazon knew that shit. They're like, hey, people are gonna watch this shit. And they were right. I didn't watch it. I made jokes about it. I'm like, yeah, it's Thanksgiving football. And then I'm like, that moment you realize Black Friday has another game, it's the Jets, and you're like, fuck.
But yeah, like I said, the NFL especially this year alone for a lot of teams, it's been a slight crapshoot. Well, unless you're not a Texans fan, that is.
I feel like the AFC is more of a crapshoot than ever.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like the AFC isn't really as strong as it once was.
RQ, you're right. If you don't get if you don't get the early game, you're most likely going to get flexed out to 4:25 or 8:00 or 8:30 that night.
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to automatically get flexed out, or you might, or if Fox doesn't want to get the 1:00 time slot, you might get moved over to the random and like a random ass NFC matchup on CBS. That for some reason CBS picks up an NFC versus NFC game on occasion. Yeah. So you might get that too.
And shout out to David, who's another great wrestling content creator that I'm actually finally met as
shout
well.
Shout out David. Yeah, we're talking football. We love that. We love football. I'm more of a football guy myself. He's more of a baseball, but like we love football. But I'm more of like the Homer football guy. You know?
Yep.
I'm into that stuff.
But switching over to Major League Baseball, obviously with the offseason going on, the biggest talking point was Soto going to get traded or who's going to pick up Ohtani? And obviously around like 9:30 last night, Juan Soto got traded to the Yankees from the San Diego Padres. So part of that deal, so the Yankees did receive Trent Grisham and obviously Juan Soto and obviously giving up right-handers Michael King, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, starting pitching prospect Drew Thorpe, and Kyle Higashioka. So pretty much they gave up gave up a haul for Juan Soto. Even though, let's be real, I don't think that's going to really help the Yankees a little bit because, first of all, you're putting all your eggs in one basket for a 1-year rental.
Yeah, this is what the Yankees do, man. This is what the Yankees do, and they also got Verdugo too. In a trade.
Yeah,
that's a shocker trade because that's a division rival.
Yeah,
you know, he goes from the Red Sox to the Yankees, so you got Verdugo on a 1-year rental, you got Soto on a 1-year rental.
And ever since
what's that going to do? And also too, call up your fucking prospects. Jesus Christ. Enough of these old ass dudes that are getting hurt.
I think see, for me, I wish, but it seems like he's going to be because overall, obviously, we saw that the Dodgers the last couple of years have been shedding payroll because obviously they're probably the biggest talk say they're going to be setting up for Ohtani because let's be real, the Angels ain't doing fucking jack squad anyways. And speaking of the Angels, they fucked up again, not giving or at least try to trade Mike Trout when you had the chance. And at least go through
when I saw that report, they weren't trading. They said they weren't trading Trout. I just I full on belly laughed. I'm like, they are so stupid. They're so damn stupid because like if you're reluctant, reluctant to pay to trade Ohtani this season. Look what that got you. Nowhere. You're still reluctant to trade Trout. You've been reluctant to trade Trout since 2014. Now 2014, given you thought you were going to compete again in 2015. You thought you were going to do that. Which I understand. 15 should have cut your losses. And this is not me bitching and moaning because I want him here in Philly, but whatever. It's the fact that this owner thinks that they are going to be competitive.
Yeah, Artie Moreno.
They're not. They thought they were going to. Dude, when they had a winning record by July.
And Tyler, let me ask you, and you said, I was like, oh, this team is legit. And the first half of the season.
I was stupid. I was a stupid one as well. Because I was fooled. And fool's gold hit me. But here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. In hindsight, they should have sold. They should have fucking sold.
Yeah.
Because after that, what happened? Players were starting to get hurt again. They were losing again. They had the biggest collapse in baseball last year again.
And first of all, we were a slight part of them, the Angels collapsing last year. So, and the year before.
Again, but still, but okay, but here's the
I'm just
thing.
trying to put that out there.
Again, they were inept. Again, they've been inept since 2014.
Two generational type players, and you still can't do squat. I'm sorry, but that's
But here's the thing, though, Rob. They overpay for players that are way past their fucking prime and are injury prone now.
And it sucks, man. I love Mike Trout because me, the Jersey kid, it's like fuck. It hurts. It pays me to say the dude.
And even though I like Ron Washington as a manager, I liked him in Texas when he was managing them in the early 2010s. He ain't gonna do shit for them because he's given a shit team, an old, washed up, and shitty team. And honestly, Arku, I was rooting heavily for them
because because me and Tyler were talking about this. This is way before we talked about this on the stream. It's like if you're asking, because we were talking like,
we were like D-backs are, but the thing is, so the reason why we were rooting for the Rangers, Arku, was because we were looking like, the D-backs already won theirs. The Rangers, they need their time, and they got their time. And I was happy as hell for them. So congratulations to your team. We're happy for you, for not only the players, but for your and honestly, I agree with that. Bruce Bochy is the best.
The fact that the Texas Rangers even were convinced him to come out of retirement is.
Here's the thing. That's the funny thing is. What the funny thing is, dude. Like, he retired in like 2014, 2015. He retires, comes back, and he's still freaking He's still freaking great. Like,
and who knows what the.
I thought, dude, and my stupid ass was thinking, oh no, this is another Girardi situation. No. How happy I am to be wrong.
Because first of all, I don't think Bochy's kind of not with the resume that Bochy's put together as a manager over the years. I don't think he was going to be ever to sniff. Obviously, Girardi would be sniffing to what Bruce Bochy will be or
Bruce Bochy clears he clears Girardi.
Oh, for sure.
He clears Girardi by a mile.
And also, for Phillies fans, we also did get some good news earlier. Thompson is going to has gotten extended to the 2025 season, so he's gotten himself another extension. So he's going to be here until after 2025.
Now, to the fans who still dog the guy, y'all need to shut the fuck up.
Pretty much,
shut up, because you're sitting there saying, "Oh, fire this guy, fire him, because he's the reason why we lost in NLCS." No, he wasn't. He couldn't control that the bats went quiet. He couldn't control that Kimbrel was ass.
Oh, speaking of Kimbrel,
bitch.
Baltimore. I feel terrible. Oh my God,
Baltimore, you guys are stupid. I'm sorry, y'all are stupid. Kimbrel, come on, Kimbrel.
Look. I think also the reason why, because their closer boss is right now. I think he's still got to go through rehab with Tommy John.
When he comes back, I bet you amount of money Kimbrel's getting cut.
Yeah,
but honestly, Kimbrel, hang up your cleats. You're done. Retire. You ain't the same guy you were back in the early 2010s. You ain't that guy.
Nope.
Now you did give us a funny moment in Philly when we were mimicking your ass. And like when you were with the Braves at one time, which was funny as shit. And you did give us good 10 starts.
Shout out to our Houston boy, Dante's up in the chat. What's good, Dante?
Good, Dante. How you doing?
See, the thing is going with the Houston Astros, it is going to be an interesting look for them because it's really weird because it's just this is the team that won the World Series. That pays me to say, won a couple years ago
against us, which sucks.
God,
it's actually been like 2 postseasons ago because it wasn't last past postseason; it was the previous one.
I know, but it felt so freaking weird. But it's very interesting because Dusty Baker finally retires after years of managing and finally actually gets the ring that he's been. Well, let's go for a guy that a lot of baseball fans like myself.
Honestly, like I said when we lost the World Series, I'm upset that we lost, but I'm happy for Dusty Baker.
Because man, Dusty Baker's been not just and the fact that not just been as a player, but look at the teams he's managed over the years. San Francisco Giants. I mean, obviously, probably everybody remembers the memorable with JT Snow picking up his son across the home plate before that was a collision.
Yeah, he grabbed him by the shirt and just freaking took him.
Yeah, probably the most memorable moment a lot of baseball fans remember. Also, I forgot he also had a stint with the Cubs, which I think that was kind of a little bit unforgettable. And it's not. You really, yeah.
That's when he had that beef with what's his face, the other manager from freaking Cardinals.
Was it?
He had that beef.
I think it might have been Edgar Renteria. If I'm God, how
much?
It
was not Renteria. It was somebody else.
Oh my God!
He had that beef. I think it was La Russa.
Oh yeah, I think it might have been La Russa.
He had that beef with him when La Russa was with the Cardinals. I think he had that beef with him.
I think a lot of people remember some of his best years with the Cincinnati Reds for the longest time. Yes, and the Reds actually kind of was a bit surprising this past year. I'll give them some benefit of the doubt.
But they had that hot start, but then they just fizzled out at the end, a little bit at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
That was all right.
I mean, decent run with Washington before they moved on from him. With Davey Martinez. Oh, I almost forgot. Somehow almost blanked on his name. And obviously, good run in Houston. That's for sure for Dusty. At the end of the day,
good run. That man has a World Series ring. That's a great run, if you ask me.
And obviously, the manager. I mean, at some point, if I hope at some point to see his name on the Hall of Fame ballot when it's all said and done,
he's in. He's in. You know for a fact that guy's in. You know.
And it's going to be very interesting to look for the Astros, obviously under Joe Espada. Obviously, they're promote within. It's going to be very interesting because obviously now the biggest kind of talking points is because you got both Altuve and Bregman who should be our free agents at the end of next season.
I feel like with how well they have their prospects develop, it won't be an issue.
Either. I mean,
be like whether Bregman and Altuve leave or not, the prospects that are ready will get called up.
And Dante will say it best too, because I don't think he's really worried of because I mean they have replacements.
And not just Dante, but the Houston fans, they should not be worried because again they have a competent front office that knows how to develop the farm. They've done it already,
and they actually know how to draft pretty well. I mean, found a really solid. And now, yes, Jeremy Pena had a bit of a down sophomore slump, which it happens. But obviously,
but here's the thing, though. Jeremy Pena, was that a slump? Was that a slump? I don't think it was a slump. He was still pretty good.
He was okay. Sophomore slump offensively, but he was better defensively this year. And honestly, I could see Jose.
No, but here's the thing: they're not saying they're not going to trade him. They're free agents after the year.
I'll be because first for me, I can't see Altuve in another uniform. I'm sorry.
I don't see it either. I also don't see Bregman with another uniform. I don't. So he exactly. I'm like he had a slump. Where was the slump?
I think there might have been a bit of that stretch. He had a bit of a boy.
Yeah, every player has a bit of a slump, but not the whole year. He didn't have a slump. I know for a fact he didn't have a whole year slump.
The very good replacement, or actually better. I think it's the better word.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right now. I know this guy eliminated you guys or tried to eliminate you guys. Failed miserably.
Yeah, boy, and Houston got the last laugh because of that. So which is
failed miserably in that one. After he talked. with Carlos Correa. I think, Jeremy Pena clears Correa.
And that's the thing too. Like Pena doesn't really talk a lot of shit.
No, he doesn't. He goes. He's humble too. He's like, yeah, I think a game, whatever. Like I'm just trying to do it for my team. Trying to do this for my team.
So he cut down
he cut down the strikeouts and he used to swing the sliders, but he's more of a contact guy. Exactly.
Oh yeah. So I'm very intrigued to see it because I still think Houston. I think that division. Oh, I want to say that goes through Houston, but it is going to be a battle between Houston and Texas going into next. Like
I
Texas,
feel like it's going to be the same as this year was. Dog fight to the end.
It really is. It's going to come down to the end of the season.
It's going to be like a dog fight to the end.
Because, like, if the Texans didn't win it all, I think the division still runs to Houston pretty easily. But no one see how improved the Texas Rangers have been. Now, yes, they got some guys that are injury prone. We're looking at you, Jacob deGrom, which sucks. The talent is still there, but
Bro has it. But dude, he can't complain though because he has a ring without lifting a damn finger.
That's true.
So he can't complain.
And I've always said this too. Look, besides us having the best throwback jerseys, I think Houston, let's be real, has probably the cleanest throwback uniforms in all of baseball.
The red ones. I love them jerseys.
I think Houston has some of the cleanest throwback uniforms. And actually, not gonna lie, I kind of do like their Space City Connect because I know a lot of people were dogging on that last year when they brought that. I was like, first of all, I mean, it makes kind of sense, don't you think? And the fact you're dogging on it, most fans were dogging on it, but that's besides the point.
They're called the Astros.
And the fact that, I mean, first of all, there's also saying that
Space is going to get brought up. For the Astros.
And also, last thought on the Astros, even though it's kind of crazy, even though let's be real, I still kind of miss Talus Hill though at Minute Maid Park because man, that was one of the best favorite oddities of all.
That random ass hill in center field,
right in center field.
Yeah, the freaking random ass hill. You had to run up that bitch to catch a home run.
I still got to say though, I think Minute Maid Park it's a beautiful ballpark. Hopefully,
I love that ballpark. Now the only thing that I really can't stand is the left field wall.
What, the Crawford boxes?
Because it's like, when does it start? When does it end? How do I know it's a home run? What the hell? Like it's an eyesore to me. Honestly, I hate it. But
that's kind of
But the field itself, it's a beautiful field. It's a beautiful field. It's a beautiful park. But I don't like that left field.
It's funny enough because I've actually I thought the things were on the top of the train were the pumpkins. Turned out they were freaking oranges. I was like, oh, now that makes sense. And then it hit me. It's like, how the fuck why do I get the thought of the pumpkins? It's like, first of all, that's a different shade of orange. I don't know.
Yeah, they make brightly colored or darker colored pumpkins, Rob.
Last and final thing before we move on to the women's basketball booth that's a little bit from college and a little bit bits and pieces of the WNBA. Bryce Harper is actually eyeing an extension to, and obviously hopefully to retire here in Philadelphia for the rest of his career.
My God, he loves us, man. He loves us, man.
Obviously,
pay the man to stay here. Pay the man to stay here. If he wants to end his career here, by God, let him do it. Let him freaking do it.
And it's let me bring. And so hopefully retire. So obviously, I think we all know. I think, so obviously his deal. So he won't be out of this current deal right now till he's by the age 38. So he wants to try at least, as well. Obviously, obviously the biggest talk point, back in 2019 was Harper coming here for $13,330, which is the largest contract in Major League history when he signed it in March 2019.
This was one of those moments where, like, I know exactly where I was when it happened.
Yeah.
And it was random too. And I was in the most oddest place. I was in a freaking bathroom, using the bathroom when I got the notification, and I started yelling and screaming, and I'm like, Harper signed it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I was in the bathroom though. I was in the freaking bathroom, using the bathroom.
So
It was,
Harper, so as his current deal is coming on, he's got 7 more years left on his contract. Overall, finished 2021 with for a second MVP slashing 293, 85, 505 with 39 homers and a buck 37 RBIs and 225 games over the past 2 years.
he would have easily hit over 300 if he didn't get hurt early in the season.
Yeah.
You know, he would have easily gotten, over 300. So I'm not looking at batting average here. I'm not looking at all the stats here for this season because whatever. He got hurt early in the season.
You'll finish pretty strong as well. You got at least got to give him some sort of credit for finishing.
He finished incredibly strong, with that.
And
so yeah, if he wants to stay in Philly, Dombrowski, sign him.
But yeah,
extension,
but yeah, Harper is looking for an extension. I would not be opposed because I think. But moving on to women's basketball, Caitlin Clark actually made some history. I think last night has surpassed 3,000 career points. To be honest, I'm not shocked because boy, can she's a walking goddamn bucket for all I care. Oh,
dude, she's automatic from anywhere on that court. That's the problem with her. She's like automatic from anywhere.
And this is why people are labeling her the Steph Curry of college basketball, or women's college basketball, and rightfully so, because boy, the range is ridiculous. And obviously, into some mock drafts, you still have her at the number 1 spot. Now the question is, you're probably asking us like, who's the best, or say the team who's more worthy of the number 1 overall pick? I think if I'm going to have to really put a guess on that, I would say either the Sparks and or the Boy, if this Fever somehow landed back-to-back number 1 overall picks, boy, that's going to be fucking stupidly good.
I feel like the Sparks and the Fever probably aren't going to make it to that because there's far worse teams that probably will get that lottery pick.
I hope it's not Seattle because, good Lord.
Why not Seattle? That'd be an added piece to an anemic roster. That's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. And actually give help to fucking Jewel Lloyd. But she actually really just saw a career year.
Give her some freaking help. So I would say Caitlin Clark in that pairing would be great. Would you say the Mercury too would be in the running? Would you say the Mercury too would be in the running, Rob?
A bit. Do you see her go to the Mercury? Because that's a team that's going to go through a full ball rebuild.
Listen, if they gotta blow it up, I don't see them doing that. But I kind of see her. I kind of see her maybe going to Seattle, maybe.
So the biggest storylines, especially with the WNBA, obviously with the draft lottery for the WNBA is being held Sunday, 4:30 Eastern time. Like I said, Meantime will be live for the draft, not the draft lottery. So, like I said, we'll do a lot of coverage.
Yeah,
of the
no
WNBA.
one wants to see a ball spin. Ooh, they get the first pick. It's like watching the actual lottery. I don't want to watch that.
So obviously, so the teams right now vying for that number 1 pick is the Indiana Fever, the Sparks, the Seattle Storm, and the Phoenix Mercury.
I think the best bet would be, Seattle for Caitlin Clark.
I mean, if you talk about the worst record, that's for sure. But then again, the draft lottery, that's another thing too. Where I forgot we're going to mention this too. The draft lottery is also a crapshoot. So at the same time,
it is a crapshoot. It could, but whoever gets that first pick, they're getting Caitlin Clark.
I mean, shoot, look at this year and obviously the Major League Baseball has adopted that, and obviously, we know that Pittsburgh had a back-to-back, number 1 picks over the last couple of years because, boy, they were consistent 100-game losers. But now this year is fucking Cleveland for all. But we're going to talk more of that next show. So it's obviously, will Indiana get a second consecutive number 1 overall pick? That remains to be seen. Like I said, it's pretty much up to, like I said, it's a crapshoot. It's up to chance. No one, it's of that. Obviously, right now, currently, they're pretty much the only team in the WNBA that has the longest postseason drought. Last time making it back in 2016. Good Lord, it's been that. Jesus.
It's been that long. Yes.
Boy.
It's been that long.
God, it's been that far. It's been 7 years. God damn.
Yeah.
What
It's
the fuck?
been that long. It's been that long.
But sticking with the WNBA, though, Christy Tolliver. I know a lot of people remember her from Washington. Oh, boy. Yeah, Mitar had some not so good thoughts on the Mystic this past year. Oh, God.
They had been up and down all year. You had your star player get hurt midway through the season, and it was just up and down, up and down. And like without her, they were dog water.
And speaking of Christy Tolliver, veteran WNBA guard Christy Tolliver has been named associate head coach of the Phoenix Mercury. The organization announced Friday. This was actually more than a few days ago. She joins the staff of the new head coach Nate Tibbetts, who was hired in October after a long NBA career as an assistant head coach. Tolliver, who's won two championships while playing for the Sparks back in 2016 and the Mystics back in 2019, and has not officially announced that she's retiring, even though despite the fact that she tore her right ACL back in September near the end of an injury-plagued season where with the Mystics, in which she played just 11 games, but also limited 11 games back in 2022 and 19 back in 2021. Yada, yada. So, yeah. So, Tolliver, who turns 37 in January, has played 14 seasons in the league after the Chicago Sky took her with third overall out of Maryland back in 2009. Part of that championship team back in 2006. Obviously, averaged 11 points and 3.4 assists. And,
she saw the writing on the wall. She was getting hurt constantly. She was off the court more than she was on. So it was just like, something has to give here. I'm gonna have to retire. This is the end.
And the Mercury, they finished last in the WNBA, missed the playoffs this past season at 9-31. Jesus Christ! And I'm not saying that
they were absolute, dude. Their games were unbearable to watch.
And this is why. And
it was it'd be like the first quarter. There's already 5 turnovers in the game.
And sorry, Mercury fans who do watch this channel. Like, I'm sorry we couldn't really do much because I'm sorry. It is hard to sit through a Mercury game without seeing a turnover after turnover after turnover.
And the thing is, it's every freaking game.
I was like,
it's just
Jesus.
Like they start off with 5 turnovers, they're ending the game with like 15-20. Like it's bad. It was bad for them this year. But let's move on from the WNBA.
And unfortunately, Mystics again. It's getting hit with the injury bug. Shakira Austin just had surgery on her torn labrum in her left hip.
Yep.
What is going on?
I don't know, but let's just move on from WNBA here. Let's move on from that.
Overall, like I said, I mean the last thing let's dive a little bit. Dive into a little bit of the NHL a little bit. Like I said, me and Tyler won't talk much hockey a little bit, but the Flyers. God damn it, your guys are sucking me back in this year. After the last 2 years, I've not been watching your. I'll try,
dude. I don't know how the hell they're doing it. It's like they're becoming the goddamn Boston Red Sox of hockey. One year they're bad, 1 year they're good. 1 year they're bad, 1 year they're good. It's like getting tough.
And obviously, I mean, obviously, 2020 was the only time you actually see them good. Even though let's be real, I hate. And let's be real, the 2020 ruined pretty much everything.
2020, they were competent at least. 2021, 2022,
they actually fucked up.
Dude, 2021, 2022, they were dog water. They were shit.
So currently, so far in the 2023-24 season, they're 13-10-2, combined for 28 points, taking on the Arizona Coyotes. First of all, why does Arizona even have a hockey team, for that matter? That's not even a hockey city, for Christ's sake. And the Flyers are going to a college hockey hockey arena that only seats like 5,000 people. It's like, yeah, that's not good if you're a
I
Coyote.
don't know how the hell Arizona has a team. I really
That's
don't.
what I'm wondering. Like, you had an opportunity to move that team out of fucking Arizona when you had the fucking chance.
I know I dogged Carolina for having a team, but they actually have fans there. They actually have fans. Now Arizona, holy shit. Why? Why? Just tell me, NHL, why is this happening? Well, why do you have a team there? They don't have fans. They do not have fans there. All they like is the Arizona Cardinals, the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's it.
And the Phoenix Sun. And the Mercury.
That's it. Not really the Mercury, but not really the Mercury because, like, again, there's not many WNBA fans out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Not in the nation.
And take a look at the Metropolitan Division. You know, we got the Rangers at 18-5-1, Carolina at 14-10-1, Philly in third place at 13-10-2. You got the Islanders 10-7-7, Washington. At least the Cowboys are somewhat decent this year. 12-8-2. The Devils, boy, that's kind of shocking to see them. They're slightly hovering above 500. The Pittsburgh Penguins, what the hell happened to them? They're 11-11-3.
They bottomed out the last 11 games. They bottomed out. They bottomed out.
We swept them both at home.
And now you have crybaby Sidney Crosby back, crying and bitching over calls.
Boy,
so we have that.
Right now. But then again, Lisa can't be worse being the San Jose Sharks fan. They're 7-17-2. Holy!
But that's expected for San Jose. That's expected.
Seattle, it's that's a different story. They're 8-12-6 after winning what more than 14, 15 games last year.
Yeah,
that's Chicago. We kind of expected where they stand. They're another rebuilding team. That's kind of expected.
Didn't they trade Kane, or didn't they trade somebody? Rebuild.
They got rid of Patrick Kane, who's actually been kind of
an injury. Thinking of. I was going to say they got
toes actually, or toes, tees, whatever.
Toes, but yeah, they're getting rid of their stars. Patrick Kane gone, so they're rebuilding them. They're rebuilding them now.
Yeah,
rebuild.
I mean, so far, in turn, and obviously, we'll stick with the NHL though. This one interesting news. So the Olympics might the NHL might be considering sending their players in 2026 for the Olympics. I'm okay. I'm all for that if that's the case.
They always send their players. They always do. Because it's like every year. Even when I was in high school and I watched the game, there was always NHL stars there. Always NHL stars playing. So that's the same thing with the NBA. They always send their stars. Given it's the off season, it's the summer, but they always send their stars.
And speaking with the NBA though, boy, Pistons fans, are you okay? I want to ask you that.
Dude, they started off 2-1. They lose 16, 17 straight.
It's up to 18 that they lost 18
in a row.
18.
Now it's up to 18.
How much you want to? Okay, I know we don't bet, but what's the over under on the losing streak? I want to take the over. That's the case because
I'm taking over. I'm taking over. I'm thinking, dude. I'm thinking 25. Dude, I'm thinking until maybe they're gonna lose until Christmas.
I mean, as a team, they're
average. They started this losing streak. Here's how funny this losing streak is, right? They started this losing streak on Halloween, and it's lasted 2 months.
I mean, shit, they lost to the fucking pitiful Grizzlies, 116-1. And they're gonna play the fucking the Magic or 14-7. Boy, who would have thought that was even?
Yeah. So how I'm gonna do this is They started losing on Halloween. They're gonna break the losing streak on Christmas.
So look at those stretch of games for the month of December. You have the Pistons are taking on the Pacers. A back-to-back against our Sixers.
Loss.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Loss.
The Atlanta Hawks were 9-11.
They got Trae Young. Loss.
Utah Jazz at 7-14.
Maybe a win. I don't know.
A back-to-back against the Nets.
Loss. Probably a win. Probably split.
And they're traveling to Boston to play the Celtics. Boy, that's gonna be a fucking blowout.
That's a blowout. That's blowout. That's like every fan's leaving in the third quarter type of game. That's a blowout.
And obviously on before New Year's, you have the Raptors to end off the 2023 season.
Loss.
Oh, hell, they might not even win a game through the entire fucking month if that's the case.
Hell, they might, dude. They might win maybe like one or two. They might win against the Jazz. They might. But if they don't win against the Jazz or any of the teams I said they might win against, they're losing until freaking New Year's. That's sad. That's sad to me. Dude,
speaking with the Jazz,
Detroit has a sad ass franchise.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Wings have been playing some better hockey as of recently, from what I've been hearing from a lot of Red Wings fans.
Red Wings are always good. Red Wings are always good, but I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the NBA. I'm talking about the Pistons.
That's
sad ass franchise.
You want to talk about how bad the Jazz lost yesterday? They lost 147 to 97 by the Dallas.
And the coach literally after the game, I saw the post-game press conference. He didn't even beat around the bush. He sits down and goes, "We played like shit." First thing out of his mouth, we played like shit.
Almost pulled a Jim Mora. We didn't do, as I was saying, we did do diddly poo offensively.
But here's the thing, though. Jim Mora, he barely cursed in that thing.
Yeah,
he said diddly poo and all that other shit, cleaned it up, being professional. This guy comes and goes, "We played like shit." Like,
you know what? I got to give credit. At least you're brutally honest. So their next stretch of games, especially the rest of the month of December, they're going to be away at the Thunder, home against the Knicks. Then the Trailblazers on the road. So they're on the road for the next 2 games against the Trailblazers on Thursday. Saturday they're going to take on the Kings, I've been very liking what I've seen from the Kings as of recently.
And can we talk about the resurgence of what's his face?
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox, yes. He took a bit of a dip in the numbers department. I think a few seasons, I think it was like 2021, he took a dip because he had a monster 20, but then, he took a dip in 2021. I want to talk about his resurgence. His numbers went up again. He's more efficient with the basketball. He's, the teammates with him on the court, they have a winning record. Without him on the court, they have a losing record.
And the fact, no matter what, if it broke, and obviously he is 4th in the league in scoring at 30.3 points per game.
Yeah, he's efficient. He's an efficient scorer this year. He's an efficient scorer. But here's the record. Here's the records that I saw. Internet, but back to what I was saying before I was really interrupted by the damn StreamYard. Here's the record that I saw. I think it was like yesterday, so it might have grown. They're 14-9 with him on the court. They're 2-3 without him on the court.
That's great.
So that just shows you how much they need him, and how much better they are with him, how much of a great player he actually is, and I love it. I love it because I wanted De'Aaron Fox to succeed so bad, and he is.
And what's also crazy about that too is you also had him and Tyrese Halliburton. But when the Kings traded Halliburton, and I seen a lot of Kings fans complain, say, "Whoa, what the hell are you doing?"
We were even saying that. We were like, "Dude, trade De'Aaron Fox. What are you doing trading Halliburton for?" De'Aaron Fox is the worst of the two.
And then we're seeing his production the last couple of years. Like, you know what?
I'm like, okay, I see what the front office is thinking there. I see it now. Now, Halliburton, he's still a great player. I get
And
it.
he did pretty balling out right now on a nice and a decent. I'll say
Hell, as a
rate.
joke, as a joke, back in the locker room, he called himself Tyrese Himburton.
Yep.
That was funny as hell. I like, dude. He was like, I'm Tyrese Himburton.
So this is basically your so in terms of the NBA's top 10 scoring, obviously number one is Joel Embiid at 33.1 points per game. Luka Doncic at 31.8. Kevin Durant is third at 31 points even. De'Aaron Fox is fourth at 30.3. Giannis 30.2. SGA at 30.1. Can we talk about how underrated SGA is? And
criminally.
I'm sorry, but
criminally underrated.
I don't think this guy gets enough love as the next
he barely
person.
gets any. He barely gets any. He barely gets any.
Yeah, Steph Curry, who it's not shocking that he's still a top 10 scorer at 29.2. Nikola Jokic, kind of surprised he kind of is down to 28.6. Donovan Mitchell, 27.6. Jason Tatum, 27.6.
Now, here's my thing with Embiid and the scoring thing. Can you do this shit in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Please. Stop taking injuries in the playoffs and do some shit in the playoffs. My God. Don't just do stuff. Don't just do stuff in the first round. Do stuff in the second round. Get us to the conference finals.
Exactly. I mean, you already, also had a 50 piece last night against the Washington Wizards
in the regular season. Like I said, he's all balls out of his mind in the regular season, and then nothing. He might have a good stretch in the first round, but when the second round comes up, he sucks.
So look at the other score.
But yeah.
So look at the other scores around the league. You had the Cavaliers beat the Magic by 10, 121 to 111. The Pistons, well, as we mentioned before, lost
18 straight losses.
The Heat actually get back to the winning ways, 112 to 103 of the Raptors. The Nets and the Hawks game, boy, that was a solid ass game. If I have to admit, obviously Nets, courtesy of Mikal Bridges, and I'm still fucking pissed about that. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. 114 to 113, the Nets wins. Like, fuck, why did we had to do it? But that's the Timberwolves beat the Spurs 102 to 94. We know where the Spurs are. They're still rebuilding as well. The Bulls, at some point, they're gonna. They have to. They got a bullet. They cannot be keeping. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, Dante. SGA needs to be appreciated.
He needs more love. He needs more love, man. He does.
Because I was like, oh, he plays on a rebuilding Oklahoma City Thunder team. So what? The dude's a consistent third, almost like it gives you like 25, 30 a night, for crying out loud. And yes, I mean, we talk about the Thunder a little bit, and not in the best ways possible, because obviously what's been going on with them and Josh Giddey, and we're not going to rehash that. You go look at the last episode we did, and that's all the thing. The Rockets, who I gotta give the Rockets credit though, man. Look, I know they're the first 18 games. They've been somewhat impressive. That's a team that's been very surprising, I would say, in the NBA is the Houston Rockets. I thought Dylan Brooks was going to be. It's like, oh boy, that's not really going to look real. Damn good.
Yeah, he's again. Ugh.
Sanguine looks actually pretty solid. 21 points. Dylan Brooks 23. And Dante's going to have Dante's having pretty much a bright spot in Houston sports. Well, not because of the Astros. Texans are playing some meaningful football again, and the Rockets actually playing some solid basketball once again, as well. Then you had the Mavericks. Well, for those who have not watched the game, and I don't blame you, because boy, that was kind of it was ugly in the first half because you had Luka Doncic already put up a triple double in the first half. It's like, how is that even fucking possible? For that matter, I was like, damn. You have the Warriors barely scraping by the Trailblazers. Which, can we talk about the Warriors for just a minute? What the hell is going on with them? I mean, look, they're 10-11 in the first 21 games, but they have not been that impressive. Because early in the season, when obviously it was like, 10 games in, I was like, oh, they're actually pretty decent. No, when they actually went that hit a bit of a snag, it's like
fall off a cliff. And again,
hey, we
already covered this last week, but let me reiterate this, man. This all stems from Draymond Green and his, anger issues. It stems from Klay Thompson being off, probably because of that injury that he suffered in the playoffs that one year. And it's just everything that could go wrong with this team has gone wrong, except for the fact that Steph Curry,
it's still one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time.
It's still balling the hell out. He's Steph Curry. I mean, you can't expect anything different at this point.
No, you really can't. And
he's just going to shoot 1 billion threes and make 1 billion of them.
And the fact, I mean, if he has to carry a team, and really he never does, because knowing how that team, it's
the only team he really had to carry a little bit was the 2013-2014 game.
Yeah, I remember
the 2014 team he had to carry for sure.
And the last
2015 to like 2021, he didn't have to carry.
Nope.
Also, another issue too. The hell happened to Andrew Wiggins?
That's what yeah.
The hell happened to him? Because he was great last season. We were thinking, okay, his career's saved. He's really good, and it's just shit. Just he fell off a cliff a bit. 12 points a game now. He used to average 15. He's just not great. He's just not doing great. He's less efficient.
And last night he put
the basketball. His percentages went down.
Oh yeah, pretty much. This is a bit of a down year for him. He's already last night he put up 9 points.
Hold on, let me finish. In every statistical category, his numbers just went down. They dipped. So now you can put your thought.
So obviously last night during the game against Portland, he put up 9 points, 3 of 12 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3 with 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 27 minutes.
That's an issue. You have 27 minutes. And you do that.
Oh, and it gets worse. So currently, as Tyler put it, his 2023-24 regular season stats as it stands, he is 113th in the league, averaging at 12.6 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, 1.2 assists per game, and shooting at least an above average 42.3% from the field, which is good for 126 in the league.
Yeah.
So he, by those numbers, he is not as good as I would say. I would say he's more below average is the better word I would use.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Now, can you read the shooting percentage? Can you read the shooting percentages for me?
Yep.
Because we got to hear this shit. Because from last year to this year, compare those things.
So, well, his so far in the regular season, he's shooting 42. Obviously, from the field, 42.3%, 26.2% from 3, and he's shooting a measly 61.4% from the free throw line.
And that's compared to what numbers from last year?
They don't actually. Let me take a look. From last year, he averaged from the free throw. He actually barely improved his free throw percentage by 0.3 points. That's not really saying much. His 3-point shooting was dropped 13 points from 39.6 last year. Yep. And was shooting 47.3% from the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
at the same
it's just
time,
like I said. It's just like I
he's
said.
averaging over 17 a game with the Golden
It's
State Warriors.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. He had a 17 point per game stat line last year for the entire season. He goes from 17 points to 12. And in every statistical category except for free throws, because he got better with free throws a little bit. Not much, a little bit.
The
Every
only time
statistical every statistical category that's not a free throw shooting category.
yeah,
Dipped.
it's
Like and the 3-point percentage dipped heavily.
oh yeah, and what's kind of
That
crazy too.
was a huge downturn. Was 3 points shooting.
And it's crazy too. There's some games like he goes off on certain teams. Case in point, they're playing the Thunder tomorrow. He's averaging 20 and against the Thunder with 2 assists, 38.5% from 3, and shooting 55, almost 56% from the floor against Oklahoma City.
He's wildly inconsistent. He's wildly inconsistent. And not just inconsistent, wildly inconsistent.
Oh shoot.
He's holy shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, not just that. Their loss against the Sacramento Kings, 124-123. He played 36 minutes, shot 40% from 3, and obviously actually pretty decent night from him. 40% from 3, 83.3% from the free throw line with 29 points, 10 boards, 3 assists. As Tyler points out, and obviously their win against Sacramento. So obviously the only when I'm looking at some of the last 5 games, Portland's the only game he played like absolute dog shit.
Mm.
Well, outside, I mean, the win against San Antonio, 40% from the floor, 50% from 3. Obviously, didn't really take much free throws. That really doesn't really mean much, but Phoenix, that's a different story. 36.4%, which is below average in today's league, and shot 75% from the free throw line, and there's slight win over the Rockets when he put up 12.7 boards, 1 assist, shot 30% from the field, 66% from 3, and obviously was perfect on his free throws. As Tyler points out, wild inconsistent numbers at times. Now, is he a super shitty player? No, not exactly.
No, he's still averaging more than 10 points a game, so he's not terrible. It's just that, there's a lot of things that are going wrong with this guy. His efficiency's gone down, the 3-point shooting's gone down, the points per game's gone, everything's gone down. So there's regression there. That's an issue. That is an issue. He could further regress, or he could get better. Now next year he needs to work to get better if he wants to have a chance. And not just in the Warriors system, but in the NBA, because you're well into your career, yet you shouldn't be regressing like this.
Not at all.
Into your career, this is getting to the point where it's like something's got to give here. But the thing is, Damian's also right too. I feel like now they're hitting that brick wall in their journey. They're hitting that brick. And dynasties don't last forever, man. They don't last forever. They do not last forever, man. Dynasties.
And going back to it, yeah, that's true. But also we're talking about more inconsistency from Wiggins. I actually pulled up his this year's splits. At home, he's shooting 42.5% from the floor, under 30% from 3. On the road and at home, he's averaging 12.6 at home. The only time he averages more points in the regular season against division opponents, averaging 15 points, even 50 points per game. Sorry if I'm a little bit going too fast. Almost 47% from the field, and oh good God, and a measly 13.3% from 3 against the division. Oh good God, and that's not he's barely even taking 1 3 per attempt. Home he's taking just barely 1.1 to 3.7 threes per attempt. Yeah, there's not really much to say there with Andrew Wiggins. And then you also have the Nuggets, who I'm kind of a concern. I mean, granted, it is early, but some of their games, they just don't look that impressive.
I feel like I can chalk this up to just like championship winning slump. Like
yeah, like
it happens to a lot of teams.
over.
It's that championship hangover. That's all it is. They're still a good team, but it's just a
yeah,
hangover.
500. Just the last few games, they have not really been that impressive. I mean, they lost to the Clippers. Let's be real. No one should be losing to the freaking James Harden Clippers. Come on now.
We're not just saying that because we hate James Harden.
The Clippers.
Part of it is that we hate James Harden, but like some of it is just like, dude, the way they've been playing with James. But dude, the way they've been playing with James Harden, they're not that great. They're not that great of a team. No.
Actually, let's see. Let's take a look where So the Clippers, they are sitting at 10-10. They're pretty much they're pretty much in the play-in spot.
They're basically in the play-in, but that's like the definition of mediocre.
So right now, if the season ended today, your top 6 playoff teams will be Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Denver, Dallas, which is no surprise, the Los Angeles Lakers, which I'm kind of surprised, and the Sacramento Kings.
So yeah, I'm actually really surprised right now. I know they might bottom out. It could happen. I'm surprised that the Lakers are winning right now.
They're 13-9 in their first 22 games of the
13-9
season.
Now, compared to like the last few years, and they're just signing everybody off the street like it's NBA 2K.
Yeah,
a video game. This is real life. Turn the salary cap back on, or whatever back on, and stop signing random ass players. You know, the Westbrook experiment didn't work. The other experiments didn't work. But the thing is that they're still doing that, but they're winning again. Like, how?
But at the same time, it also depends, can AD stay healthy? Because boy, we call it the Mr. Glassman, and for good reason. The dude cannot even stay on the court for.
But again, though, I feel like most of it's his fault.
Yeah,
because his conditioning has become ass. You know, I mean, his conditioning has become terrible.
Look, so I know you want to make fun of LeBron, you know, and all the shit that he's, you know, like kind of like flopping all this stuff. That at the end of the day, the dude's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer at the end of the day, whether you like him or you hate him. The dude. I gotta give at least some sort of fucking credit, because the dude is still performing at a high level at 36, and he's in much better shape than the AD. That's not saying much. Because
LeBron actually gives a shit. No question about it. LeBron gives a shit.
Oklahoma City, I have a feeling they're going to bottom out a little bit, but not too much to the point where they're going to. I don't know. I don't know. It's really hard to put the Oklahoma City Thunder as a franchise, as a team right now, because right now they're starting 13-7, which is good for second in the Western Conference behind the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I think they might be like probably 4th or 5th seed, maybe.
I mean,
they might be 4th or 5th seed. If they're good enough for 2, great. But I think
that's a huge improvement from last year for a team that actually won. Because obviously, look, no one was expecting for that Thunder, and Mitar can admit too, we were not expecting the Thunder to win 40 games, at least that is.
But dude, from the eye test last year, when we were watching these games last year, they were exciting as hell to watch.
It's like they're young. And yes, I mean, there's a few moments where a few teams actually sent them to a full-blown rebuild. I mean, courtesy of Portland twice. Back in 2012, when they that had an opportunity, they had one chance to win it all with KD, Westbrook, Harden off the bench, Serge Ibaka, and when Damian Lillard put the dagger in that one, it was a bit of a rebuild for them. Back in, I think it was 2018.
I don't think after 2012 they rebuilt. They just got rid of Harden. And then they just went with the rest of that core. They were still winning games up until KD left and Westbrook left.
Yeah. At the same time,
after that, they were nothing.
I mean, And obviously Portland and Dame time again. When it comes to kind of sucks that freaking Portland wasted all that potential that Damian Lillard had. I'm sorry, but that really still mind boggles me. That look, Damian Lillard gave all he had to Portland, and you couldn't do nothing with that. That still never make any sense to me. But
they made the Western Conference Finals one time with him on Portland, one time,
and they had an opportunity to go farther. But
yeah, they were basically us, but in the Western Conference Finals, they had an opportunity to clinch a finals berth, and then they blew I think it was like a 3-2 lead or some shit.
I think 3-2.
I think it was 3-2, and they lost 2 games and they lost. It was to the Warriors. I think was it the Warriors? No, I'm not sure what it was for. Yeah, it might have been the Warriors, but yeah, they blew. They completely choked last minute, and then they just bottomed out there, and then they were just making first and second rounds every year after that. So it was like,
it's like damn, like how the
2020 they barely got in.
Oh yeah, that's right. They barely snuck into the bubble. Like
barely got into the bubble, and it was just like because they beat the Suns, the final game there. They beat the Suns. They were like the only loss the Suns had, which kicked them out and put Portland in.
So I'm going to ask you as my last and final question. So in terms of the NBA teams, who can you not buy in? So for me, I can't buy into the Suns because holy crap, their big three has not played. Their big three has missed over 20-something odd games.
Chris Paul.
His Bradley Bill's has been hurt with a back injury. I mean, KD can do so much at this point. How old? I mean, I don't know. I can't buy into the Phoenix Suns at all. You know,
I have to agree because again, all I've been seeing is Chris Paul's regression. All I've been seeing.
And seeing Chris Paul kind of, have like a career resurgence down in Golden State, it's like, that's like, but I think another team I really can't.
I have to agree with that. And also another team I really can't buy into that they're saying, oh, championship round now is the Clippers. Let's be honest.
Oh hell no! No one should even buy into
the fucking Clippers. The fucking Clippers.
They're like the right-handed step. Let's be real. They're like the little brother to the Lakers. Let's be completely.
They're still going to be They're still going to be the little brother to the Lakers.
It's like pretty much the bigger brother always takes their lunch money, basically, and that's kind of how I look at the
It's been like that for years since the Clippers' inception. But the thing is, hold on. The thing is, though, with the Clippers, they were fine before getting Harden. They were fine. They literally got rid of half that fucking roster to get the guy.
And by the way, that was their bench depth too. So thank you more for that.
They got rid of their freaking bench depth to get Harden. So now you don't have a bench. Now you don't have a bench. You got old ass Harden, and you're 10-10. You're 10-10. You started the season what? 3-1, 3-2.
Something like
bottomed out after that. You bottomed out after that. You were losing a lot of games with Harden. You were like 0-4, 0-5 with them to start off the freaking year, and then
rightfully so picking fun at you because you guys are a bunch of losers. But that's beside that, and rightfully so because it's
funny. Exactly. Hold on, exactly though. But now it's like you get Harden. If this was 2012, good move. If this is 2023, it's a terrible move. It's a terrible move. And also, if you guys make the playoffs, he doesn't play well. He's gonna whine and cry over an extension. He's gonna use you like he did Sixers. He's gonna use you like he did them. And Houston. And Oakland. Well, not Oakland, and Oklahoma. So he's going to use you more often than not after the season. He's gonna cry and whine about an extension. If he doesn't get his way, he's gonna want to trade.
And it's why I guess I got to thank Maury for getting some Bringer Broco back home, which is pretty nice.
No, I don't thank Maury for shit. You know who really made that trade? Josh Harris did. Josh Harris did. Because Josh Harris looked at Maury and said, for the love of God, get rid of Harden. Accept any damn trade for all I care.
And with the fact we got the fact that we got 3 firsts out of that is beyond me. That's my thing. And what's also funny about that, the Clippers also suck with PJ Tucker, who hasn't done jack squat either. So I was like, see ya, loser.
And people are like, but he's a rebounder and he's a blocker and he's only there for this ain't 1990. This ain't 1997. This ain't the Chicago Bulls.
This is 90s basketball in general, and that was kind of like the biggest thing back in the day.
But no, because they didn't get Rodman till 96, 97.
Yep.
So this ain't 96, 97. This is 2023. That shit don't work. This is a scoring lead.
Yeah.
This is a scoring league. We have to get scores. We can't get a guy who just plays defense and doesn't score. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and it just sits in the corner like ready to shoot a three, who completely doesn't want to hit his threes. But that's here nor there. Overall, that is going to wrap it up for another episode of the All-Star Sports Show. Actually, probably one of the better episodes we actually put on this week. Almost a 2-hour show. Like I said, we have a lot of stuff to cover. Yes, we had to rant on some topics. Hope you guys enjoy how we rant about things and just talk shit basically on some other teams. But overall, if you guys are new, definitely hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out all the merch down to the link in the link tree or in the description down below. And that being said, we are out.
Peace.